Nobody saw this coming. Not the fans, not the producers, not even Rasheeda herself. What started as a routine filming day for love and hip-hop, Atlanta turned into one of the most explosive moments in reality TV history. Because in a single trembling breath, Jasmine Washington, the woman who once shattered Rasheeda and Kirk Frost's marriage with a secret, a baby, dropped a revelation so dark, so twisted that it left the entire set frozen in disbelief. She claimed Kirk had a second secret child, and this time Rasheeda wasn't just blindsided. She was betrayed twice over. Cameras captured everything. The gasps, the silence, the photo. A toddler's face that mirrored Kirk's unmistakable smile, the same eyes, the same smirk. It was undeniable. And as Jasmine's words echoed through the studio, he's got another baby, Rasheeda. And I knew about it. The entire VH1 crew stood frozen. Within hours, the footage leaked. Within minutes, the internet erupted. Twitter threads exploded with hashtags, like hashtag Kirk Frost exposed and hashtag RASHEEDA deserves better. Fans demanded answers. Producers panicked. And Kirk, he vanished. No calls, no posts. Just silence, the guilty kind. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Jasmine didn't just find out. She'd known for months. She had the receipts, the money transfers, the late-night messages, even the photo of Kirk at a gas station holding a baby nobody knew existed. So why now? Why expose it in front of cameras with Rasheeda's mother watching? Was it revenge, regret, or something deeper? A hidden truth that even Jasmine didn't see coming. Because behind that shocking photo was a secret that would change everything. The tension between Rasheeda Frost, Kirk Frost, and Jasmine Washington didn't just appear overnight. It was a wound years in the making. Longtime fans of love and hip-hop, Atlanta, remember the chaos of season 6. When Jasmine first revealed that Kirk was the father of her son, Cannon, that moment didn't just fracture Rasheeda's marriage. It shattered the illusion of stability the Frosts had spent years portraying. What followed was a storm of paternity tests, public humiliation, and emotional breakdowns that defined Rasheeda's storyline for seasons to come. But after years of therapy, reconciliation, and televised forgiveness, the Frost family finally appeared to have moved on. Kirk and Rasheeda had rebuilt their empire, their boutiques, their brand, their reputation. They had even started doing interviews together, showing a united front, the perfect picture of redemption and growth. Fans started to believe that the couple had done the impossible, surviving infidelity on national TV, until Jasmine walked back in, for years. Jasmine had stayed mostly silent, resurfacing occasionally with cryptic Instagram captions and vague references to her truth. Her image was complicated. Some saw her as the homewrecker, others as the young woman manipulated by a married man in power. But now, in her late 20s, Jasmine claimed she was ready to move past the label. She was working on music, co-parenting, and trying to heal. Least, that's what she told her followers. But insiders from the VH1 production team later revealed that Jasmine had been in quiet contact with a mysterious woman for months, someone who had reached out through DMs, claiming she, too, had a child with Kirk Frost. The woman called herself Maya, a name that would soon send shockwaves through Atlanta's reality TV circle. According to sources, Maya had been hesitant to go public, terrified of being labeled another side chick. But she allegedly sent Jasmine pictures, photos of her son, a little boy with Kirk's signature gap-toothed smile and same exact dimple. At first, Jasmine didn't believe it. Then she heard the voice note. That was the moment everything changed. Jasmine's insiders say she agonized for weeks, unsure what to do. She didn't want to relive the hate, the death threats, the judgment that had followed her years ago. But she also couldn't ignore what she knew. Every time she saw Rasheeda post a picture of her family, Jasmine reportedly felt the guilt eat away at her. She didn't want to be the villain again, said one crew member. But she also couldn't sit there knowing Rasheeda was being lied to again. Meanwhile, Kirk had been acting strange, even by VH1 standards. Producers noticed his absence from filming days, his evasive phone calls, his mood swings during confessionals. He'd blamed it on business stress, claiming the couple's store pressed ATL was expanding. But those on set said it was clear something else was wrong. Even Rasheeda's close friend Carly Red joked in one episode, "Kirk always gets quiet before he gets caught." It was meant as a laugh, but it turned out to be prophecy. In early September, it's 7 December, VH1 producers arranged what they called a closure interview. The idea was simple: bring Jasmine and Rasheeda together to finally put their feud to rest on camera, a redemption moment. Rasheeda was skeptical, but agreed. "If it helps people see growth, fine," she told producers. Jasmine, on the other hand, seemed nervous but resolute. But what no one, not even the production crew, realized was that Jasmine had something in her purse that would turn that interview into an emotional demolition. Behind the scenes, a whisper campaign had already begun. Several people in Atlanta's music and nightlife circles had seen Kirk out and about with a woman no one recognized, a petite brunette with a stroller. A fan had even posted a blurry photo on Facebook captioned, "Ain't that Kirk Frost at QT with somebody's baby?" The post quickly disappeared. But the internet never forgets. When Jasmine finally sat down across from Rasheeda under those bright VH1 studio lights, she was carrying months of turmoil, guilt, and a secret too heavy to hold. The cameras were rolling, the producers poised, but no one expected the tremor that was about to shake their entire world. Rasheeda walked in confident, polished, armored in calm professionalism. She'd done this dance before, the one where she had to confront the ghosts of Kirk's past, mistakes while keeping her composure for TV. But this time the energy was different. The air was thick. Even the sound crew could feel it. When Jasmine lifted her eyes from the table and met Rasheeda's, she didn't look defiant. She looked broken, and that's when she said the words that silenced everyone in the room. "I've been keeping something from you and from Kirk." That moment wasn't just about betrayal. It was about déjà vu. It was about every wound Rasheeda thought she had healed suddenly reopening. Insiders say that when Jasmine pulled the photo out of the envelope, Rasheeda didn't immediately react. She just stared. The resemblance between the child and Kirk was undeniable. The same features. Rasheeda had gone radio silent. No Instagram stories, no tweets, no appearances. Her boutique pressed ATL closed early 2 days in a row, with fans posting pictures of the darkened storefront asking, "Where's Rasheeda? Is she okay?" Even her friends couldn't reach her. Carly Red reportedly tried to call 12 times, but every attempt went straight to voicemail. She wasn't hiding, one crew member said. She was processing. She didn't want to believe it, not again. Kirk, on the other hand, had vanished completely. His phone was off. His team said he was dealing with a personal matter. But the internet wasn't buying that excuse. Comment sections were filled with fury. Dealing with a personal matter. "You mean hiding from accountability?" one fan wrote. Another said he better start dealing with some diapers if this turns out true. The network was in full crisis mode. VH1's executives called an emergency meeting to decide how to spin the situation. They had a goldmine of footage, real, raw, unfiltered emotion, but they also knew they were sitting on something potentially reputation-ending for one of the franchise's longest-running couples. The decision was made: no one would air anything till legal cleared it. But that didn't stop Jasmine. 3 days after the confrontation, Jasmine went live on Instagram. Her voice was shaky, her eyes red. And the background? A dimly lit room with her son's toys scattered. Brown gave the impression of someone exhausted by truth. "I didn't want to do this again," she began softly. "I didn't want to be the girl who ruins another family, who gets dragged through the mud. But when I found out what Kirk was still doing, I realized, if I stay quiet, I'm part of the lie." The comments rolled in by the thousands. Hearts, crying emojis, insults, support. And then Jasmine dropped the bomb that shifted everything. "I wasn't the only one," she said. "There's another woman, another baby." The internet froze. Within minutes, her name, Jasmine Washington, was trending again. Fans were typing frantically in disbelief, demanding proof, demanding names. Jasmine paused, sighed, and said, "She'll speak for herself. I'm not exposing her. I just want people to know I tried to warn Rasheeda before this went public. I gave her the chance to hear it privately, but now it's out of my hands." And just like that, she ended the live. No names, no receipts. Just chaos. But the chaos didn't stay silent for long. Because that same evening, a new Instagram account appeared, at @myothamis_is. The bio read simply, "Just a mom. Just tired of lies." And within an hour, she went live with Jasmine joining in. The stream started quietly. Maya looked nervous, sitting on a beige couch, a baby toy visible behind her. "I didn't ask for this," she began. "I didn't want to be in the middle of TV drama, but I can't keep letting him lie. I can't keep watching him pretend." Jasmine nodded, tears in her eyes. "You don't owe anyone silence." Maya then reached off camera and held up a folder. "This," she said, tapping it, "is the paternity test." She opened it slowly, revealing what appeared to be official paperwork. "We did a private DNA test. It came back 99.9% positive. Kirk Frost is the father." The comment section detonated. Viewers screamed for screenshots. "Show IT? No way. We need to see the signature." Maya leaned in closer, showing the name at the bottom, Kirk Frost. The camera shook slightly as she spoke. "He's been sending money under a fake LLC, same one Jasmine found. Same pattern." Jasmine looked at her screen, visibly shaken. "You mean it's the same account?" Maya nodded. "Yeah, and there's more." She picked up her phone and scrolled to a voice memo. The next sound that came through the live was enough to make even die-hard Kirk defenders fall silent. "Look, do you know how this goes?" a man's voice said. "Just keep things quiet. I can't have Rasheeda find out right now. I'll handle it. Just chill, okay?" It wasn't just the words, it was the voice, the tone. That unmistakable Atlanta drawl. The comment section erupted like a digital riot. That's him. He said the same thing to Jasmine back in the day. Bro didn't even change his script. By the time the clip ended, more than 100,000 people were watching the stream live. Bloggers started screen recording. Reaction channels went live instantly. Within minutes, headlines appeared. "Kirk Frost caught again. Leaked audio suggests second secret baby. Jasmine Washington, an alleged second. Baby mama, go live receipts dropped. Rasheeda silent amid explosive new evidence." But the most chilling moment came at the end of the stream. Maya looked straight into the camera and said quietly, "He told me he was done with drama. What he meant was, he was done getting caught." Then she ended the live. That single sentence spread across the internet like wildfire, memes, reaction, TikToks, think pieces. Even mainstream outlets like Bet and E! News picked it up. And while the world was watching, Rasheeda was alone in her bedroom, staring at her phone in disbelief. Sources say she watched the live 3 times, shaking her head, whispering, "Not again, not again." Friends described her as numb. She wasn't angry, not yet. She was hollow. The kind of pain that comes from realizing history didn't just repeat itself. It doubled down. Meanwhile, Kirk's world was collapsing. Paparazzi caught him leaving a lawyer's office in Atlanta the next morning. Wearing a gray hoodie pulled low, sunglasses on, refusing to speak. When reporters shouted questions, he muttered, "No comment," and slid into a black Escalade. By the afternoon, TMZ had posted the footage with the headline, "Kirk Frost seen after second baby scandal. No comment amid explosive allegations." Fans flooded his last Instagram post with snake emojis and comments like, "How many babies you hiding?" and "Rasheeda deserves peace, not pain." Inside VH1 headquarters, chaos reigned. Producers couldn't decide whether to treat this as a PR disaster or a ratings miracle. Some wanted to capitalize on the scandal. Others feared it would push Rasheeda to quit. The footage they had was dynamite, emotional gold, but ethically, it was a nightmare. And then something no one saw coming happened. Rasheeda's mother, Ms. Charlene, broke her silence. She went live from her own account, something she rarely did, and she was furious. "This man has embarrassed my daughter enough," she shouted into the camera. "Enough is enough. I told Rasheeda years ago that when a man shows you who he is, believe him." But she gave him another chance. She forgave him. And this how he repays her. A whole other baby. "Lord help me, 'cause I might just pull up to his house myself." The comments were flooded with support. Fans were cheering her on. Miss Charlene always speaks facts. "Mama's not wrong. Rasheeda needs to let that man go. Protect that woman at all costs." That live went viral too, over 2.3 million views in 12 hours. Suddenly, the entire Frost family saga wasn't just gossip. It was a full-blown cultural moment. Everyone had an opinion, everyone had a side. But what no one realized was that the biggest twist hadn't dropped yet, because Jasmine still had one more card to play, something she'd kept to herself since the beginning. Later that week, popular gossip blog posted an anonymous tip. Attached was a blurry screenshot of a text conversation allegedly between Jasmine and Maya from months earlier. The message read, "He told me he'd fix it before the new season starts. He promised me she'd never find out." The timestamp. 3 months before filming began. That changed everything. If true, it meant that Kirk had been juggling both women and planning his cover-up. Long before cameras ever rolled dot, and then came the most gut-wrenching twist of all. A source close to production leaked that Jasmine had quietly met with Maya off-camera weeks before the confrontation. The two women had compared stories, messages, and dates. Everything lined up. Kirk had been living a double life again, and this time even Jasmine hadn't realized the full extent of it until the evidence was undeniable. By now, a Frost scandal had grown beyond the reality show. Mainstream outlets were covering it. Talk shows were discussing it. And fans were dissecting every old clip of Rasheeda and Kirk looking for signs. Some pointed out how distant Kirk had looked in recent confessionals. Others said Rasheeda's laugh seemed forced, like she already knew something wasn't right. But the emotional breaking point came 2 nights after Maya's live, when Rasheeda finally spoke. She didn't go live. She didn't post a statement. Instead, she uploaded a black screen to Instagram with a single caption: "Some storms don't pass. You just learn to walk through the rain." Within minutes, her post had 500,000 likes. Even celebrities chimed in with support. Candy Burris, Tamar Braxton, and Toya Johnson all commented hearts. It was quiet, powerful, and full of pain. And just when fans thought things couldn't possibly get worse, VH1 producers confirmed the unthinkable. Kirk had agreed to return to set. But his only condition: no producers, no Jasmine, no cameras unless Rasheeda agreed to face him alone. That was when Rasheeda made her move. If Kirk's got something to say, she told producers, he's gonna say it on camera. No edits, no filters, no running this time. The stage was set for one of the most anticipated confrontations in reality TV history, the one where Rasheeda would look her husband in the eye and demand the truth. But before that face-off could happen, another secret would surface. A secret that would make Jasmine's revelation look tame in comparison, because someone inside the tape production team was about to leak the footage that even VH1 had sworn to bury. And when that leak hit the internet, the entire franchise would never be the same again by the time the week ended. Atlanta wasn't just buzzing, it was erupting. The Frost family scandal had jumped from gossip blogs to mainstream news. And VH1 executives were losing control of the narrative. What was supposed to be a private matter had become a televised implosion. And every second of it was feeding the internet's hunger for more. But what no one knew, not the fans, not even Rasheeda, was that the most explosive footage hadn't been aired, leaked, or even discussed publicly yet. That was about to change on a quiet Sunday morning. While the world was still dissecting Maya's Instagram Live, a mysterious account appeared on X, formerly Twitter. The username @RealityExposedATL. No profile picture, no followers, just one pinned tweet. "You've seen the lies. Time to see what VH1 tried to hide. Hashtag Frostfiles, hashtag The Uncut Truth attached was a 1-minute 28-second video clip. Grainy, unedited, but real. It opened with a familiar shot. Rasheeda sitting in the interview room, trembling, the envelope still in her hands. But what made this different was the audio. Someone, likely a crew member, had kept recording after producers yelled, "Cut!" In the unseen footage, Rasheeda could be heard whispering through tears, "He promised me no more secrets. No more kids. He swore on his mama." And then, faintly in the background, another voice, one fans quickly recognized as Jasmine, saying, "You think I wanted this? You think I wanted to be his secret again?" The clip ended abruptly with a male voice, muffled but distinct, shouting, "Cut that mic off." That was enough to send the internet spiraling. Hashtag Frostfiles shot to the top of trending lists within minutes. Fans accused VH1 of covering up the emotional aftermath to protect Kirk's image. One viral tweet read, "They silenced Rasheeda's breakdown because it made Kirk look guilty. This ain't reality TV anymore. It's manipulation." By noon, the clip had been reposted by every major entertainment page from the neighborhood Talk to Hollywood Unlocked. Fans began digging deeper, rewatching old episodes frame by frame, claiming VH1 had always edited Kirk's scenes to make him look remorseful instead of strategic. The hashtag free RASHEEDA gained traction, with thousands demanding VH1 release the full footage of the confrontation. Behind closed doors, producers were in chaos. They knew exactly where the leak came from, an internal staff member who had already been suspended for unauthorized file access. But firing them wouldn't stop the avalanche now. In fact, every attempt to delete or copyright strike the footage only made fans more determined to find it. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was breaking. Sources close to her revealed she had stopped sleeping, barely eating, and refused to take calls from Kirk or VH1 executives. "She's in shock," one insider told a blogger. She thought she'd seen every kind of betrayal possible. But this was a new kind of humiliation. Not just personal, public, but the story was about to twist again in a way even Jasmine didn't expect. Late that night, Maya posted a cryptic story, a black screen with white text that read, "He's still lying." Moments later, she went live again, this time alone. Her hands were shaking as she held up her phone. "I didn't want to do this," she said, her voice trembling. "But since he's out here acting like I'm making things up, let's go all the way." She pulled up her camera roll and played what she claimed was a screen recording of a FaceTime call between her and Kirk one that took place just 2 months ago. The video showed Kirk in a dimly lit car, wearing the same chain fans had seen him wear in recent paparazzi photos. "Kirk, I told you I'd send them money this week. Don't trip, Maya. It's not about money. It's about your son asking where his daddy is. Kirk sighs, you know I can't just pop up. You know how she is. Cameras everywhere." Maya then stopped pretending to be the perfect husband. "Kirk, you think I asked for this? You think I wanted 2 families? And then came the line that broke the internet. Kirk, I made one mistake with you. One mistake with Jasmine that don't make me a monster." The stream cut off seconds later, but the damage was irreversible. The receipts were there. His voice, his words, his admission. The next morning, TMZ, News, and the Shade Room all confirmed the clip's authenticity after running voice matching analysis. It was him, Kirk Frost, on camera, confessing to both affairs and both children. VH1 immediately issued a vague statement. "We are aware of the unauthorized content circulating online. VH1 does not condone the leak of private communications or footage not approved for broadcast. We are investigating internally." But by then, no one cared about corporate apologies. The internet had already declared its verdict. Kirk Frost guilty. Twice over. What made the scandal even bigger was the way the public turned on VH1. Fans accused the network of protecting Kirk for years, editing footage to make him sympathetic while painting Jasmine as the villain. One viral Reddit thread titled "The VH1 Lie We All Believed" gained over 30,000 upvotes in a day. Users posted receipts, production call sheets, timestamped photos from crew members, and even screenshots of leaked emails suggesting VH1 had instructed editors to preserve Kirk's redemption arc to keep viewers invested. In the Frost family, the revelation turned what was once tabloid drama into a full-blown media crisis. But amid all the outrage, one person stayed silent. Rasheeda. Then, out of nowhere, she broke that silence not with a statement, but with something far more chilling. She went live. At first, it seemed like a normal setup. Soft lighting, solemn tone, Rasheeda seated in her living room. But there was something in her eyes, something raw, fiery, broken. She took a deep breath and said, "For years, people said I was too forgiving, too calm, too loyal. Y'all called me strong, but strength ain't silence." By Monday morning, the Frost scandal wasn't just trending, it was dominating the internet. Every major gossip page, podcast, and entertainment outlet had turned the Rasheeda Kirk Jasmine saga into a 24-hour frenzy. The leaked footage, the FaceTime confession, the deleted VH1 files, it was the perfect storm of betrayal. Celebrity and reality TV chaos. Twitter, or X, as it was now known, was a digital battleground. Hashtags like #free, RASHEEDA, #KirkFrostExposed, and #VH1 cover-up sat at the top of global trends for 2 straight days. Fans weren't just gossiping, they were mobilizing. "We want the full Frost footage" became a rallying cry as petitions began circulating demanding VH1 release the unedited tapes. One viral tweet read, "This isn't entertainment anymore, it's exploitation. VH1 owes Rasheeda the truth, not ratings." The replies underneath were divided. Some fans stood behind Rasheeda completely, hailing her as a symbol of strength and survival. Others accused Jasmine of opportunism, saying she only came forward when the cameras were rolling again. But in the middle of all that noise, the public turned its fury toward the network. A top post on Reddit's reality TV forum, titled "VH1's Manipulation of Rasheeda. How long have they been protecting Kirk?" amassed over 50,000 upvotes. Users dug up clips from earlier seasons' moments that, in hindsight, looked suspiciously edited. In one viral comparison video, editors showed side-by-side footage from different episodes that appeared to splice Kirk's emotional confessionals together from multiple filming days to make him look more remorseful than he really was. "Look at his shirt," one user wrote. They pieced this apology together from 3 different confessionals. That ain't an accident. The internet's collective conclusion: VH1 had been covering for Kirk Frost for years. By noon, multiple cast members from Love and Hip Hop weighed in. Carly Red posted on Instagram stories, "We all knew something was off, but this is next level." Spice, the dancehall artist and fellow castmate, commented on a Shade Room post with the line, "Karma, sweet, and she don't need subtitles." Even Young Jock chimed in with a no-deleted tweet saying, "Some of y'all think the cameras only roll when you say action. Nah, they always rolling." But it wasn't just cast-made celebrities from across the entertainment industry started taking sides. Tamar Braxton, who had already shown support for Rasheeda, went live to say, "What hurts the most is watching a woman fight for her family just for the network to exploit her pain. Sis was fighting for love, and they were fighting for ratings." Fans flooded her comments with "period" and "say it louder." Meanwhile, VH1 tried to regain control. The network released an official statement attempting to distance itself from the scandal. VH1 does not condone or participate in covering up any wrongdoing. "We value the safety, dignity, and truth of our cast above all else." But it was too late. The internet had receipts. A whistleblower account claiming to be a former VH1 editor tweeted a bombshell thread exposing internal memos instructing staff to preserve Kirk's redemption narrative and minimize visual emphasis on Rasheeda's distress. Each tweet gained thousands of retweets and screenshots before being mysteriously deleted, a journalist from Rolling out-confirmed in a report that multiple former employees had independently verified those notes as authentic. Suddenly, the Frost scandal wasn't just about a cheating husband. It was about corporate manipulation. Talk shows couldn't resist weighing in. On The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne thought God opened with, "This might be the biggest reality TV scandal since Tristan Thompson's baby fiasco." But at least that was real life. This is a network engineering emotional trauma for views. DJ Envy added, "Man, imagine filming your heartbreak just to find out the producers edited your pain into a marketing campaign." Over on The View, Whoopi Goldberg shook her head as they played clips of Rasheeda's live. You can hear the exhaustion in her voice. She said softly, "That's not acting. That's a woman who's been humiliated over and over again for ratings." By midweek, the backlash was so severe that advertisers began pulling out. Reports surfaced that a major beauty brand quietly paused its sponsorship deal with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The company's spokesperson released a subtle but scathing comment. "We stand with women who choose truth over exploitation." VH1's panic escalated. Executives held emergency meetings, insiders leaked frantic emails, and whispers circulated about the network pushing Rasheeda to sign a confidentiality agreement. But sources close to her said she refused. She said she's done protecting liars, one insider claimed. Meanwhile, Tease, once painted as the villain of the story, was suddenly gaining sympathy. Her live sessions turned into therapy conversations about being manipulated, gaslit, and publicly shamed. Fans who once dragged her were now flooding her comments with messages of support. "You were a victim too," one wrote. Another said, "This isn't about being the side chick. It's about being lied to by the same man who lied to everyone else." Jasmine dropped another bombshell during a live Q&A with fans. Someone asked if she thought Kirk had more children hidden away. Jasmine hesitated, looked directly at the camera, and said, "Let's just say, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a third one out there." The internet lost it. Within minutes, "third baby" was trending. Fans began speculating wildly, combing through old photos, old posts, any clue that might point to another secret. One TikTok creator with over 1 million followers posted a viral theory claiming Kirk had been photographed at a daycare in 2022, dropping off a child who didn't belong to Rasheeda or Jasmine. It wasn't verified, but the image circulated anyway. And the comments went wild. At this point, Kirk got more plot twists than Game of Thrones. "Somebody check Atlanta's DNA testing centers. They working overtime." Rasheeda needs to do a documentary called Lies, Love, and Loyalty: The Frost Files. Even mainstream entertainment reporters couldn't ignore the public obsession. E! Online ran a headline reading, "Fans turn into detectives as Frost scandal deepens. Is there a third child?" Behind the scenes, Rasheeda was reportedly preparing for her next move. Sources told Page Six she had hired a new PR team and was considering producing her own Talal special, independent of VH1. The working title floating around, Rasheeda Uncut. VH1 executive. The video began with a dimly lit production office. The timestamp in the corner read confessional B-roll. Unused footage. Kirk sat in a chair, visibly sweating, avoiding eye contact with the producer off-screen. At first, it looked like a standard interview. But then he said something no one could have ever expected. "Look, I wasn't supposed to say this, but Jasmine wasn't the only one who knew about the other baby. Rasheeda did too." The producer's voice off camera froze. "Wait, are you saying Rasheeda knew?" Kirk nodded slowly. "She found out months ago. We were trying to handle it privately before it hit the blogs. But production pushed for drama, so Jasmine jumped first." The silence that followed was suffocating. Then Kirk continued, his tone dark, defensive. "They told her to play the loyal wife again. They said it would test the fans' forgiveness. I didn't even want to do the storyline, but they offered a bonus if we agreed to film the confrontation." The footage cut abruptly, replaced with audio from what sounded like a phone conversation between two producers. Producer 1, "We can't let that get out. If people find out Rasheeda knew, they'll think we faked the whole thing. Producer 2. Then we bury it. We edit around it. It's reality TV, not reality. And that was the moment the internet broke. Within hours, the hashtag #FrostFraud exploded. Fans who had been screaming for justice now didn't know what to believe. Had Rasheeda really known all along? Had her heartbreak been scripted? Or was Kirk twisting the narrative to save himself one last time? YouTube channels went live instantly. Reaction videos poured in. Kirk set her up. VH1 staged the entire confrontation. Rasheeda's redemption was a lie. Every headline screamed betrayal. Every comment section burned. But the most shocking reaction came from inside the cast. Carly Red went live, pacing back and forth, visibly shaken. "I don't even know what to say no more," she said. "If that's real, if they really told Rasheeda to fake it, then we're all puppets. Every single one of us." Hours later, Spice posted a single message: "Reality TV ain't real. It's trauma on cue." Then she deleted it. As the world watched the meltdown unfold, VH1 executives scrambled to do damage control. They released a desperate statement claiming the leaked footage was taken out of context and that the show's participants were never coerced. But fans weren't buying it. The leaked producer conversation was unmistakable. The words "bury it" and "edit around it" echoed across social media. Like a death knell, Rasheeda's silence during all of this was deafening. For nearly 24 hours, she didn't post, didn't comment, didn't respond to anyone. Insiders said she was furious and betrayed, not just at Kirk, but at the network that had allegedly turned her life into a marketing strategy then. At 9:03 p.m. the next night, Rasheeda finally broke her silence again. She went live, but this time there was no lighting, no glam, no script, just her face in near darkness. Her voice cracked as she began. "If they really think they can twist my truth to save their ratings, they don't know who they're dealing with." She paused, exhaled, and continued. "Did I know Kirk was still lying? Yeah. Did I know there was another baby? No. They told me to keep it quiet, to trust the process, but that process broke me." She leaned closer to the camera, eyes red. "I didn't fake nothing. I lived that pain. And if they want to keep using me as the face of their lies, I'll burn the whole show down myself." The live ended abruptly after that, but those last words became legend. Clips of Rasheeda's declaration flooded every platform. Fans declared her the whistleblower queen, the woman who exposed not just her cheating husband, but an entire network's corruption. VH1 immediately shut down all comments on its official pages. Multiple cast members received cease and desist letters about discussing the leak publicly. But the damage was done. Jasmine resurfaced the next morning with a cryptic tweet. "He told me she knew. She told me he lied. Maybe the truth's got to faces." That single tweet reignited the war. Some fans sided with Rasheeda, insisting she'd been manipulated. Others claimed Jasmine's story had holes all along. Bloggers dissected every second of leaked footage, searching for inconsistencies. It felt like the entire world had turned into detectives for a crime scene built on betrayal. But the most chilling twist came just as the frenzy was beginning. Too cool. A post appeared on the same leak account that had dropped the footage originally at Reality Exposed ATL. The tweet simply read, "Part 2 scheduled 11/11, the real producer tapes." The attached image showed a blurred still frame of someone sitting in a VH1, the control room, wearing a headset with the caption, "He recorded everything." The implications were terrifying. Another leak, another insider. And if the rumors were true, this next drop wouldn't just expose Kirk. It would expose the entire machine behind him. Fans immediately began counting down. Reddit threads titled "The Real Producer Tapes Countdown" exploded. TikTok creators made timelines and theories, predicting that the new footage would reveal how long VH1 had been orchestrating the Frost drama behind the scenes. Meanwhile, VH1 executives quietly scrubbed old episodes from streaming platforms due to legal review. But that only fueled more suspicion by the end of the weekend. The Frost scandal wasn't just the downfall of a marriage. It had become the unraveling of an empire. And as the clock ticked toward November 11th, one question echoed through every comment section, every podcast, every blog post. If VH1 built its empire on other people's pain, what happens when the cameras finally turn on them? Because this story wasn't over, not even close. The real truth, the one everyone had tried to bury, was about to explode. And when it did, it wouldn't just end the Frosts, it might just end VH1. So now, after everything, the confessions, the leaks, the breakdowns, and the buried truths, one question remains. Who can we even trust anymore? Was Rasheeda a victim of manipulation, or a silent participant in a twisted storyline designed for ratings? Was Jasmine a whistleblower or a pawn in a bigger game? And Kirk, was he just another man caught up in fame's illusion, or the architect of everyone's pain? Because if the producer tapes really exist, they won't just expose Kirk Frost, they'll expose VH1, the production team, and maybe even Rasheeda herself. That's the real story the world's waiting for. Fans aren't just curious anymore, they're furious. Furious at being played. Furious that pain became entertainment. Furious that what they thought was reality has been scripted all along. And let's be real, this isn't just about love and hip-hop anymore. This is about an entire industry built on secrets, exploitation, and silence. How many other reality shows are hiding footage that could change everything we thought we knew? How many more cast members are sitting on truths they were told to bury? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe Rasheeda really knew about the second baby? Was Jasmine wrong for exposing Kirk publicly? Was she finally breaking a cycle of silence? And should VH1 be held accountable for manipulating real pain into primetime profit? Comment your theories, tag who you think's lying, and let's keep the investigation alive. Because November 11th isn't just another date, it's the moment the curtain drops for good. When those producer tapes hit, everything we thought we knew about the Frosts, about love and hip-hop, about reality itself, might collapse right before our eyes. Like this video if you're ready for the truth to come out. Share it if you think the Frost scandal goes deeper than anyone's admitting. And don't forget to subscribe, because when the next chapter breaks, we'll be right here to expose it, frame by frame, lie by lie, that the countdown is ticking. The empire is shaking. And when 11/11 arrives, the truth won't just leak. It'll erupt. Won't just leak. It'll erupt.